Hello from the Norwegian Joy. We're having the most lovely day at sea as we sail to Bermuda. In this video, I'm going to be answering all of your questions about Norwegian Cruise Line, Norwegian Joy, and how it is cruising from New York to Bermuda. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. Now, every time I'm on a cruise, I like to do these sit down and chat videos where I answer some of your most common questions. Now, this is not going to be a full review of Norwegian Joy or of our Bermuda cruise. I'm going to have further videos that are going to come out after, but I'm going to share with you my first impressions about the cruise ship and answer some of the most common and I think interesting questions. Now, before I get started, I did want to mention that if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. Now, firstly, forgive me, it's a sea day, so I've got my hairband on my hand, sunglasses on my head because the sun is not in my eyes right now, so it's going to be very casual. But let's start off firstly with my first impressions of Norwegian Joy. When we embarked, honestly, it was absolutely wonderful. Now, I've been on this ship before, about 2.5 years before. This ship was built in 2017, and the really nice thing about it is it still looks like new. As my son Ethan said, this ship has just aged so well. You do not see any wear and tear. I have not even seen wear and tear on carpets, on chairs, anywhere. So personally, I think that's a really good thing. Now, I want to get right into some of the really important questions. I think a big question that I get asked is, what is free at sea like? What's the catch, if you will? Are gratuities included, and should I upgrade to free at sea plus? Is it worth it? Now, this is really worthy of an entire other video because there are a lot of details, but I do want to share a couple of quick answers to this. So firstly, free at sea I think is a great perks program. The benefit for a lot of people is the fact that you can get a free unlimited beverage package. Well, I had to come inside because there is a band playing at the pool, so forgive me. So when it comes to free at sea, it is a perks program, and what it includes is an open bar beverage package. It also includes some specialty dining. It includes some free shore excursion credits, and it includes some free Wi-Fi as well. Now, sometimes there are other things that are also included depending on the promotion at the time. Now, when it comes to the beverage package portion, a lot of people do ask about this. How does it work if you have a free beverage package? Are you still charged gratuities when you go and get a drink? So no, you're not charged an extra service fee or a gratuity when you get a drink on the cruise ship. It's actually very easy. However, when you do book free at sea, you are going to be paying the service charge or the gratuities at the time. So basically the value of the package, you're going to be paying 20% on that. Now, you can look at the total cost and you can decide if you would drink that amount or more during the time of your cruise. For us, I think the amount would add up to somewhere in the range of maybe, I think it's $150 or $180 per person. Now, we would definitely drink more than that, so it is worth it for us. If you're somebody who doesn't drink that much, then it would probably not be worth it for you. But again, I'm going to share more information in a future video. Now, when it comes to free at sea plus, you just get a few things that are additional. So you get a little more specialty dining, you get premium drinks, and you get to have Starbucks coffee. So if that is something that is important to you, I definitely would look into that as well. What is it like leaving from New York? The good and the bad. So let's start off with the bad. You're leaving from Manhattan, and there can be some traffic coming into Manhattan. That's what a lot of people do really worry about. So now this cruise left on a Sunday, and that was very pleasant because there was basically almost no traffic coming in on a Sunday. So that's a little hint if you have your cruise on a weekend. Otherwise though, and no matter what, come early so that you do not need to stress about the traffic. It's always a little bit easier. Now, when it comes to parking at the cruise port, you do have parking. Also, arrive early. You want to make sure you do that. And I have another little hint. When you arrive at the cruise terminal in Manhattan, do not go to where it says to drop off your bags and drop off people. Instead, go straight up to the parking area, because from the parking area, you can take your luggage yourself out of your trunk of your car and you could bring it to the luggage pickup area. And in our case, for 2 cruises, they actually had some luggage pickup areas right at the parking lot. As an alternative, you can stay at a hotel that has a park and cruise package. We did not do that in this case. However, last year we stayed at Fairfield in North Bergen, New Jersey, and we were told by them that they do have that package, and I do believe you have to pay an additional amount for a shuttle, but that could be worth looking into. Now, we stayed in Secaucus Meadowlands, and that for us was a good location. Now, in terms of the good leaving from New York, honestly, leaving from New York is one of my favorite places to embark from, because you get to sail right past that Statue of Liberty. You see the New York skyline, and I think there are few things in the world that can beat that. Is there enough to do on the Joy? Now, this is a question that came up a lot. Now, this ship is 167,000 tons, if I'm not mistaken. It holds 3,800 passengers. However, there is so much to do and eat, by the way. So that was another question. I will definitely share that. But in terms of things to do, there is always something happening on the ship, so you will not be bored. From in the atrium, where you have trivia, game shows, demonstrations, music, and also live performances all around the cruise ship, even live bands playing at the pool. Now, in terms of for the kids and really for everybody of all ages, you have a couple of pools, including a pool for younger children with a splash area. You also have water slides, which of course are very popular with everybody, but especially with kids and teens. You do of course have the kids club and the teen club. Now, those are all things that are included. And by the way, I should mention there are also some different parties and things going on around the cruise ship. But in addition to the things that are included, there is that racetrack that is so cool, and there's a video arcade as well. Are there a lot of food options on Norwegian Joy? Yes, I think that in terms of this ship, this may have more food options than I've seen on most cruise ships. So I think you have 7 or 8 specialty restaurants. So you have everything from your like fancier specialty restaurants to your more casual specialty restaurants. Yesterday, we had lunch at Food Republic. It was our first time doing this. The food was absolutely amazing. It was sort of like Korean food. It was so good, and I do think that it may be underrated. There were not a lot of people there, and I definitely recommend trying it, especially if you do have the dining package. Now, in addition to all of the specialty restaurants, you have a lot of places that are included, including the Garden Buffet, which is a really good, expansive buffet. You also have included restaurants, which are Manhattan. That is a really nice main dining room, and you have Taste and Savor. And basically, they serve the same food that you'd have in Manhattan. Now, another free restaurant option is American Diner. And the other one that is very popular is the Local. And this, I think it is open 24/7. So whether you want to have an American style breakfast at the Local or you want to have chicken wings at 2 in the morning, you can do that. How is Norwegian Joy different than other Norwegian Cruise Line ships, in particular the Jewel or the Pearl? So I was on the Pearl last year. The Pearl and the Jewel, I think, are about 90,000 tons. If I'm not mistaken, about 93,000 tons and about 2,350 passengers, versus Norwegian Joy, that is about 167,000 tons and 3,800 passengers. So I think that you're talking about a mid-sized cruise ship versus a very large cruise ship. Now, the benefit to a very large cruise ship is you do really have more to do. If you prefer a mid-size ship feel, then you'll prefer the smaller ships. If you like something that really just has more options, including, by the way, Vibe, which is an absolute incredible adult-only area, then you probably will like this ship. And there are a lot of other amenities and food options as well. Now, a really good question was, does Norwegian Cruise Line accommodate food allergies? So yes, they do. Now, I should say I don't have any food allergies. So while this is not something that I've encountered, I do know that when we sit down at any of the restaurants to eat, we're always asked by the waiter if we have any food restrictions, any dietary, any allergies that they should know about. But in addition, we see signs everywhere when we're at the buffet or at restaurants to let the waitstaff know if you do have a food allergy and that they can accommodate you. But as always, before you come on the cruise, it's a good idea. Let them know that you do have a food allergy or a dietary restriction, and you can find out what the instructions are as to how they can best accommodate you. Now, since I do cruise on a lot of different cruise lines, a question that came up also was, how is Norwegian Cruise Line different than other cruise lines? Well, we always say every cruise line has its own personality. And when Norwegian Cruise Line says that it's freestyle, it really is freestyle. So it is a really nice, relaxed, friendly vacation vibe. Personally, I love that. The wait staff, the crew around the ship are friendly, they're helpful, they're a little bit chatty, which personally I like, and as well something that we noticed, and everybody, so Frank, my husband, Ethan, is that the other guests are really friendly and nice too. How does the spa work? Now, I'm going to share in a future video more information about the spa, but the spa was expanded on Norwegian Joy. I think it was within the last few months or the last year at least. They made some changes on this ship. The spa, the thermal spa, is absolutely gorgeous. There are so many heated stone loungers. It looks so luxurious. In addition to that, of course, you have a sauna, you have several steam rooms, you have a salt room, you have an ice room, you have a cold plunge pool. I don't like anything cold, so that isn't for me, but Frank and Ethan like that. I'm going to tell you something that I did for the first time. I've never done this on a cruise before. There is a jacuzzi, hot tub, great view. But for the first time, something that we did on embarkation day, after we did all the things that you need to do, like the muster check-in and, making sure we got all our reservations done, all of that stuff, explored the ship, we actually went for about an hour and a half before we got back to our cabin and got ready for dinner. We went to the thermal spa. We had the most relaxing time. And by the way, on embarkation day, the thermal spa is pretty empty. So if you have the pass for the whole week, that's a little tip that you can try. What is it like cruising to Bermuda, and will I be bored if I'm docked on a ship for 2 or even 3 days? So that's a question that came up a lot. Now, we haven't arrived in Bermuda yet. We'll be there tomorrow, but I have been to Bermuda many times and on Norwegian, and no, you will not be bored at all. I'm going to tell you the little secret about Bermuda, and that is the fact that the thing that people don't love about cruising is that after a day when you're in port, you've got to get back on the ship at 4 or 5 p.m. You don't have to do that when you're in Bermuda. So you actually get time to explore. And even if you're not a beach person, and by the way, there are a lot of absolutely stunning beaches, but if you're not a beach person, there are very interesting things to do. So from crystal caves to doing some boat tours to even if you're a maritime and history buff, there is an incredible museum right at the port. Now, I'm going to share more about cruising to Bermuda with Norwegian Cruise Line in a future video. It's actually going to be on the Norwegian Cruise Line channel, so I am working with them on that. So please do subscribe to the Norwegian Cruise Line channel and watch out for that video to be coming out in the weeks ahead. Now, please let me know if you're going to be cruising on Norwegian Joy, and as well, let me know if you have any additional questions or if you have any tips and tricks, and I will be sharing more in upcoming videos. Now, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Bye for now, and happy cruising.